Right then, conclusion time. Would we buy the, what the fuck is it? What is it? I can't fucking remember. Hello YouTube, welcome to the channel. Now then, on today's video we are going to be looking at this monster. It's a KFPLAN KF10 KFPLAN. It sounds like a kitchen unit manufacturer. KFPLAN KF10 ready to run 1/10 scale brushed monster truck. Now this has very kindly been donated to the channel for review by my brother, who has spent £110 on this beast from Banggood. I will leave a link in the description. So basically we're going to see what this thing is like. I am intrigued as I know nothing about KFPLAN, and I must admit, a bit of a sucker for these weird Chinese brands. But anyway, let's have a quick look at the box. I mean, it says 4x4, obviously 1/10 scale. Don't know what we've got on the back. It's probably just a layout. I mean, it does look similar, and I can't quite put my hands on what RC it reminds me of. I mean, it should have a heavy-duty drive chain. It says here 550 brush motor. It's going to have some go in it. It's a single combo ESC and receiver. It says style high torque servo. I'm not quite sure what that means. Drive components, you'd hope so, wouldn't you? And anyway, IPX6, so it's going to have it's going to be splash proof electronics. Anyway, enough waffle. I'm desperate to see what this thing is like. Let's crack the box open and have a look. Right then, in the box we've got our instruction and parts manual. We've got a little USB battery charger and metal wheel spanner stroke wrench. We've got a battery, which is a 1500 milliamp hour lithium ion unit. We've got our, if I can get it out of the box, we've got our transmitter, which looks like it's got some reasonable functions on this. Throttle dual rate. We've got a steering trim there. We've got a steering dual rate as well. Not sure what those buttons there do at the moment, but it looks like we can reverse the throttle and reverse the steering. So, like I say, plenty of functions on that. Last but not least, we've got the actual truck itself. And oh, bang, there you go. No oil shocks on this baby. I mean, for a 1/10 scale truck, I mean, 110 quid isn't particularly expensive, so we're not going to see anything too fancy on this. But like I say, it's just got spring shocks. One thing we have got on this truck though is violent dynamics, which is always good to see. We've got a wheelie bar at the back. It looks pretty solid and chunky, this thing does. Tyres are really soft and compliant, no foams in them though. I have noticed, tell you what I've noticed, they've got like little fake brake discs as well, which look really cool. And I do like the way actually the bodywork is tucked in to this this piece of plastic here, just to keep everything protected, so that's a nice touch. First impressions, it looks a chunky affair, this thing does. It's a shame they only do the black colour, not some brighter colours, but it does look quite a smart looking thing, I must admit. One other thing I've noticed is the shell has quite a lot of protection on, in the form of these bars here and this little plastic piece at the back. Also, there looks to be some black sliders on the bonnet stroke hood on this thing, so hopefully that'll keep your shell out of trouble. What I might do is we'll whip the bodywork off this thing and we'll take a look at what's underneath. Okay then, underneath the bodywork, which is quick release at the front and R-clip at the rear to secure it, we have some lights also in the bodywork, forward facing and rearward facing. We've got a spare battery, a lithium ion 1500 milliamp hour unit, just like the other one. We've got a great big 550 brushed motor here with a radiator on it, and it looks like some great big cooling holes in it as well. There's an enormous combination ESC and receiver here. It's absolutely huge, this thing is. And what looks like a big chunky 6 kilogram 5-wire steering servo, taking care of the steering at the front. Like I say, the dampers, well, they're not dampers, are the springs on this, that's literally all they are. No dampening them whatsoever. You might be able to put some grease in them actually, but I'm pretty sure you'll be able to get aftermarket dampers for this thing. Now, I'm not going to do the usual, strip this thing down into its constituent parts, just in case, because obviously it's my brother's. But what I might do is pull a few bits and pieces off and see what's underneath. Right, I've just pulled the centre drive shaft cover off, and we've got some pretty chunky gears underneath there, both the reduction and on the end of the motor, the pinion. If I read the instructions and parts manual right, the diffs in this thing should be metal as well. So we've pretty much got a full metal transmission in this, apart from the drive shafts to the wheels, which are these quite chunky plastic things actually. But interestingly, everything's ball raced as well by the looks of things. Interesting, there's our little hexes there, and they double up as like a little fake brake disc as well, which is pretty cool. Tyres again, no foams inside, but quite compliant. This thing looks reasonably well made actually. Like I say, it is only 100 quid, 109 quid something for a 1/10 scale truck, so I mean you're never going to get top quality componentry on it, but so far it looks pretty reasonable. Right, then we're outside, speedo strapped to the back. Come on, 550 motor, what do we reckon?
I'm just trying to contain my excitement because I'm really excited about this, but I think I'm going to say 20. I was a bit over enthusiastic last time, so I'm going to say 20.
Well, I'm going to say 16.
16?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, let's get. It's got the original lithium ion in it, and after we'll try a lipo. Right then, with the original battery in it, 19.3, so you were about right. And right, just stuck the lipo in it. Let's try it.
Definitely got a bit more pep. Pretty good that.
Oh, good. Right then, well, we've got 21.7 with a lipo in it. That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
Right then, so I would normally say back inside, but we're not, we're still outside, but we're just going to go through the pros and cons out here, may as well, eh?
Yeah, absolutely,
as soon as I've got my bro here. Right then, cons, let's go with some cons, yeah? What didn't we like about it? First thing, shocks were a bit bouncy, weren't they? Elephant in the room.
Yeah, you can't get away from it, you know. It's all, I wouldn't say it's unforgivable, you know, because it's only about £108 at the moment, you know, whatever that is in dollars. But it doesn't cost a lot to get some oil shocks on there, and that was just, it just feels a little bit cheaper with those, and straight away it's a bit of a disadvantage. So that's a con. Yeah.
So basically, the shocks aren't brilliant, but it is only 100 quid.
It is, yeah. So it's just, you know, we're stretching for that as a con, really, but it has got to be a con.
The next thing I got written down on this, the lights are in the wrong way around on the ESC, really. So there's caused a bit of confusion. We did end up frying the rear lights, so that was a little bit of a problem from the factory, though.
Don't know if you can see on there. Yeah, it's just, it literally popped the LED.
No, it's only a minor niggle, but you know, they should have got that right, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. The shock tops came loose, didn't they?
They did, yeah. They
just the one, though, wasn't it?
It did, yeah. It was just on the one side.
Yeah, well, I think that's, again, it's a bit of a niggle. That is it's stuff you need to keep your eye on, really. Anyway, into
yeah, it was just sort of in there. Just came a little bit loose on there. Yeah. Tightened it back up, and it was okay.
But again, it's just a minor niggle, isn't it? Now, because this is a 550 brush motor, battery life isn't brilliant with those 1500 milliamp hour lithium ions you get.
No.
So I would advise getting the multi-battery version or buying some other batteries, but you can fit a larger battery in that tray.
You can. We did put that 2200 milliamp one in there, and it fitted in quite nice.
Yeah. And I know this is like, it's only a cheapy RC, but the tolerances on the wheels a little bit wibbly wobbly. But again, you got to forgive it something, because it is it's only 100 quid, this thing.
Exactly.
You know?
It feels like we're sort of unnecessarily punishing it a little bit.
Yeah.
But we're sort of scratching for stuff, really.
Yeah. Well, shut up now.
Let's cut that bit out, it's fine.
Right, that's enough negativity. Let's go for some pros. We like the looks of this thing, don't we?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. It has got.
Well, it does look like a little X-MAXX.
It does. It does.
We're allowed to say that.
Let's say it does. It does look like a little X-MAXX.
Yeah, it does.
I'm so glad I can feel free enough to say that now. From everything, from the the chassis.
Yeah.
Under
the body especially.
The lot. It all has got that, and that's a very good thing.
Yeah, it has got X-MAXX vibes.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so.
It's also got violent dynamics, which, if you're going to have dynamics, make sure they're violent.
That's the only kind of dynamics I'll accept, to be honest with you. Yeah. A violent one.
Nothing broke, nothing fell off. So, and you did hit a tree quite a few times, didn't you?
I did. Yes, we'll notice that, and I did actually do a full speed run into a tree as well, with the corresponding thudunk. And nothing broke. So nothing broke. So
it's good. Only 100 quid, and it's survived so far. Reasonable price, £100. Not a lot of money for a 1/10 scale truck, I don't think.
Not at all. It's not a true 1/10 scale. It's probably closer to a 1/12. But
yeah, it's a Chinese 1/10 scale.
It is. It is a Chinese 1/10 scale. And for the money, you cannot argue.
Yeah, you do get a reasonable amount of RC for your money, don't you?
You do.
I would have liked to have seen metal drive shafts on it, not plastic ones, but the rest of the transmission does look like it's metal.
Yeah, so that's, you can forgive her that.
And although we didn't like the battery life, the battery tray, you can fit a much larger battery in it, so that will probably negate that issue.
Yeah, superb. And the shell's dog-proof as well.
Yeah. Right, the conclusion time. Would we recommend the KFPLAN KF10 to anybody?
Absolutely would, 100%, 100%.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree with that. It's a good laugh, this thing is. It's not like a mega amount of money either. It is a 1/10, 1/10 scale truck, so you do get a decent amount of truck for your money.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And I actually bought this one, didn't I?
Yeah.
I do like it. I'm glad I like it as well, otherwise I'd have been a very upset man at the end of the video.
But no, yeah, I would thoroughly recommend this to anybody.
Definitely.
Yeah. As ever, there'll be a link in the description to where you can go and get this RC from. I'm going to try and get a promo code off Banggood, so if you did want a bit of money off it, there might be a little code in the description for you. As ever, if you've enjoyed the video and you found it of some use and interest, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you're feeling that way inclined, hit that subscribe button for more similar future content. Big thank you to me bro and Gareth. Say hi, Gareth.
How do?
Midlife Crisis RC for basically sponsoring this video with his new truck.
My absolute pleasure.